Hey guys, Jarek and Komodo here, back for another episode of the Best Trials Fusion Maps. So these take a decent amount of time to film and edit, so if you want to see more of these, be sure to like them, share them around and whatnot. If I get more views, obviously I feel more motivated to make more of them. I don't want to be one of those guys that constantly asks you for views and to like my videos and do stuff like that, because whenever I hear a commentator ask me about 20 times throughout a video, hey, can you like my video, share it around, then I just don't like the video. Then it kind of gets annoying, so... But hey, friendly reminder, if a video gets more views or a certain series gets more views, then you definitely will be seeing more of that series. So if you like seeing Trials Fusion, then be sure to share it around. Alright, so I used a different recording option for this video. I've been testing around with Shadowplay a little bit. Let me explain what Shadowplay is first. Very, very small target market here with Shadowplay. It is specific to people that have later NVIDIA GPUs. So if you run AMD or if you're on consoles, then obviously this means absolutely nothing to you. But if you are part of the other guys using NVIDIA, then this might mean something to you. So it's another recording software program, basically. It's tied into your GPU. It takes absolutely nothing out of your computer. There's just no frame rate loss. I can record in 1080. I recorded for like 2 minutes, a little over 2 minutes, and it was only like 500 megabytes, very small files. So in that regard, I'm impressed, but everything else, I'm not really too enthused. The recordings, although when everything's working great, the recordings look absolutely fantastic, as you can see here. But at random, when I'm looking back at the playthrough, there just seems to be a little bit of lag, like serious stutter lag at certain parts of the video, and you'll see it later on. And it'll last for like 5-10 seconds and go back to normal. And then I just had it fail altogether on the very last clip. And I had to, basically, I just cut out the very last track I was going to upload. So, it's unpredictable. I understand it's still in beta. It doesn't work like it's supposed to at times. And it lacks a lot of options that my usual recording software has, say DxD, which will allow me to do things like, say, play in 1080, record in 720, so that files will be on smaller file size. And it also, and this is the biggest thing that I wish that Shadowplay had, when I record with my mic in DxD, when I put that in the Sony Vegas, it'll show up as another timeline. Shadowplay does not do this, so when it comes to the options with Shadowplay, it's much more similar to, say, Fraps, where it's just you don't have many options at all. So, you know, I like it in the concept, I like the fact that it takes absolutely nothing out of your computer, but I'm really not going to use it. I did also have other problems where, like, if I recorded with my mic, it was just really, really quiet with Shadowplay, whereas it's not quiet anywhere else, and I can't figure that out at all. It's not a sound card issue, I just, legitimately, I can't figure it out. I don't know why it does that. So it's a little disappointing. Hey, let's just drive into that generator. That's like that big laser in Fear Combat on high tech.
I don't remember that, honestly.
There was a laser in one of the multiplayer levels, obviously multiplayer level if I'm talking about Fear Combat, where if you jumped into it, you would just burst into flame and die. Because it was obviously a laser. But there was a glitch where the laser just wouldn't show up at times, so people would just burst into flames for no reason.
If anything, though, it reminded me of Zordon from the original Power Rangers.
Okay. What? Okay, it's always a bad day when something reminds you of the Power Rangers.
What?
I don't understand why the Power Rangers were such a big thing. I really legitimately don't.
Then you obviously were not a kid.
It's not like they were Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or something.
That's just the furry in you showing up.
Okay. Honestly, I didn't really care for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles either. Now that I think about it. And here, you can kind of see the lag suddenly, where it's just a sudden lag spike, and then it fixes itself. I don't understand why Shadowplay does this, but like I said, I'm really, really not impressed with Shadowplay. I like the fact that it takes absolutely nothing. Yeah, see, it suddenly fixed itself. I like the fact that it takes nothing out of my computer, but when it doesn't record like it's supposed to, it doesn't make me want to use it. So it's unfortunate. I like it in concept, but I don't know, like I said, it's in beta, so maybe they'll fix it, maybe they'll add more features, but until they do, I'll stick with DxD. It's a much better program. They also need to make it so that I can see my frame rate, otherwise I can't. I should probably talk about this map. So this is a FMX map. This is one of the trick ones, so get as many points as possible. As you notice, I'm doing all these stunts that I don't usually do. These things, I'm not really a big fan.
Sorry.
Let's have some fire. Oh, let's save it. I'm not really a big fan of these courses, to be honest. Doing tricks in this game it's a simple idea with the way it's supposed to work in this game. You push somewhere, push a direction on your right analog stick, depending on the way you're flipped, you'll do a trick. But my goodness, sometimes you go full stupid. Also, dancing hand.
Okay.
Why not? But your body will go full stupid when you're trying to do tricks at times. I don't know if it's the angle of your bike or what, but you'll just start like ragdolling on your bike, and you don't get any points for doing a trick. You can't land. It's just a pain in the ass. So, yeah, I don't know, I'm not really a big fan of it, but I didn't really play this game to do tricks. I like the fact that they added it in. It's something new. It's something cool, but I don't know, it's just not why I played this game. I'm not sure if I have an unpopular opinion of that yet.
Yes.
You haven't even played the game.
I played one. The first one.
Look,
I want it, okay? I just haven't gotten around to buying it yet.
Okay, then. Hey, let's go ahead and move on to the questions, though. One last thing about Shadowplay to clarify. Like I said, I'm going to be going back to recording with the X3. I won't be using Shadowplay more. I don't know what that robot is there for. I think it's just there to record how many faults you have, but I never faulted, so I can't really confirm that. Yeah, I won't continue using Shadowplay. I tested it. I'm not impressed at all until it's out of beta, until it's fixed. I don't know, I was just exploring my options a little bit. Whenever I can record in 1080 and take absolutely nothing on my hard drive, really, that's great, but the other options are lacking, so let's not go ahead and do that. But yeah, let's go and move on to the questions. Before we run out of time in this video, if you want us to answer your question, leave a question down below in the comments. We'll try to answer it in a future voiceover. So, this question is asked by Strafe5. If you don't like zombies, why do you like Killing Floor? You know, there's a few zombie games where I will make an exception. Killing Floor is one of them, and Left 4 Dead to an extent, I'll make an exception for that. I'm not really a big fan of Left 4 Dead just because once you figure out that, like, if you stay with your teammates, it almost doesn't feel like you feel invulnerable, like you almost can't die, even on harder difficulty settings. It's just enemies spawn and run at you, you smash them away, you shoot them, and that's really it. Also, bottomless pit. That isn't bottomless because he just hit the bottom of it.
I don't know if I can really agree with you on that, because I remember playing Left 4 Dead 2 for the first time. Now, mind you, it was on console, so that may have been a bit of a factor. And, yeah, I wasn't having a good time. Just nothing went right for me or the people that I was playing with, and I had to go all the way down to, like, the easiest difficulty, and even then it was... I don't know, that game just left a bad taste in my mouth. And on top of that, I didn't like any of the characters.
I didn't either, but I was playing that game with Brahim and Gabe, and still couldn't die. And those two, you know how... they're dumb at times. Like, they're not really the best at games. Nothing against them personally, just... You know, it's not like I'm playing with someone like, say, Wimbles and Ars that play games like 24/7 and are legitimately good at shooters. And I still couldn't die. And when I say stuff like that about Left 4 Dead, I'm comparing it directly with something like Killing Floor, where there's a lot more tension and it's much easier to die. But really, that's the reason I play Killing Floor, is because the Zeds aren't really zombies. They all have their own abilities. It's not like they mindlessly just run at you and, like, smack you, other than the clot that grabs you, which still affects you differently than just brain-dead zombies that do nothing but sprint and hit you, which is...
Yeah, I hate clots a lot.
But that's their whole point. They're supposed to be there to grab you, to stop you from other enemies attacking, basically. You know, each enemy has its own purpose. And each enemy does its own thing, and it adds an extra element to the game.
Oh, wow.
Suddenly Meteor, I don't know what the...
You got stuck in the air.
Did I? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Hey, look at that. I'm flying. Floating. Not doing anything, actually. It's like a mid-air stroke.
Is that how that works? Just
Apparently.
Freeze in time?
I wish I could do that. It's like, well, I'm gonna fall to my death. I'll just stay here forever. That's like procrastinating to the last degree. But what was I talking about? Right, Killing Floor. And when it comes to Killing Floor, there's always that sort of tension, assuming you have it on at least a hard difficulty. I mean, when you're playing with people that have played it for a while, you need to put it on the higher difficulties. But when that flesh pound shows up, you know there is always a possibility of somebody dying. And something I can really say about Tripwire, I wanted to say this when I was talking about Killing Floor 2. I really like how Tripwire legitimately understands shooters. And this is something that I wish all guys that made, or all developers that made first-person shooters would understand. let's take a fighting game for example. You have different characters in that fighting game. If you know what those characters can do, you know how to fight against them, you know how to fight with them, you know their moveset. When it comes to shooters, guns are basically characters in that game. And you need to have a really big emphasis on how your guns react, how the recoil works, what they're good at, what they're not good at, because the characters themselves aren't really the characters. So I've always really liked what Tripwire has made extra focus on those games in particular, or those guns in particular, because Red Orchestra 2, those guns feel better than anything I've ever shot in any game ever. And I'm pretty sure you can agree with me on that one. Like, they feel powerful, you know if you shoot someone they're going down, but you also know that
if they shoot you, you are too.
Yeah, it can make you feel either really good and be like, I'm invincible, you're never going to kill me, or it can make you feel completely helpless, depending on how good the person is you're fighting. So yeah, there's been another episode of the Best Trials Fusion Maps. Like I said, I was going to have another... No, wait, I do have one more. I have one more map, so it's not the end of this episode. Hey, a false alarm. After this, I did record one more, but like I said, Shadowplay completely screwed it up. The audio continued, but the file itself stopped. It was just like a freeze frame. I don't know why I did that. It's another major reason I'm going, okay, not using Shadowplay, because I can't be having Shadowplay suddenly decide, you know what, I don't feel like doing this anymore. Or just commit suicide. It just got lonely. Maybe it was being used too much. You don't appreciate me for what I am. Okay, so this map. This map, it was interesting enough. That boat in the background, if you didn't notice it the first time around, actually hits something and blows up. It's a little bit off screen, so you don't necessarily entirely see it.
I didn't see it at first. Oh, there it is.
Yep.
Well then.
You see, you just went in a straight line right into that boat.
Somebody must have been asleep at the wheel.
Next question. I'm going to answer this one really quickly before the end of the video. I don't have his name on here, so sorry to the person that asked this. What do you think of Call of Duty having a 3-year development cycle? You know, I'm all for this, to be honest. To be even more honest, I don't care about Call of Duty outside of Treyarch Call of Duty. I like Treyarch Call of Duty, I hate Infinity Ward and Sledgehammer Call of Duty, or at least I'm going to assume I'm going to hate Sledgehammer Call of Duty considering the Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer was terrible. And yeah, that guy just got ran over by a train.
Ow.
I like trains.
Oh god.
Okay, I'm gonna link that video down in the video information because you need to watch it. But yeah, I think this is good for Call of Duty, obviously. It gives them more time to make their games, more time to polish it up.
More time to not make Call of Duty Ghosts again.
Yeah. But still, though, it also gives me more time to have to wait for the next Treyarch Call of Duty, which I actually am going to look forward to, because I legitimately do like Treyarch Call of Duties. I don't want to be that guy, but hey, that's like my guilty pleasure. I like Treyarch. Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2 were fun. So, sue me for that. They legitimately were, and I don't know many people that will actually argue against that. I really don't.
I like Black Ops 2, I'll say that.
But hey, there's been another episode of Trials Fusion Maps. That was the last map I had to show you guys. Hope you guys have enjoyed the video, and I'll see you later. I know what that accent is.
It doesn't need to be anything, I made it. I gave birth to it, I can beat it however I want.
Spoken like a true black man.
It's actually the women that think like that.
Yeah, the men just run away.
Wow.
Going to hell.
Seriously, I'll send you there myself.